Hey comic book fans, Chris the Jedi here. I want to welcome you to my comic book review for October 12th, 2011. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of the viewers that I get. I don't have tons and tons of views, but I do have more views than I thought I'd be getting, so thank you very much. As always, start out by thanking my awesome friends over at Arkham Comics here in Blytheville, Arkansas. If you live anywhere near here, stop by, hang out, buy, like a whole ton of comic books, and leave very, very happy. Anyhow, I'm going to jump right into the books. I'm going to start with a book that actually didn't come out this week. It came out quite a while ago, but because of where I started in the series, and I had to back order a few issues, I had to wait till this issue went into second printing. But I'm going to review it because it was so good, and if it had been a fresh title for this week, it definitely would have been my pick. But I like to keep my pick of the weeks current with titles that released for the week. So here we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2. A lot of you may not know that this book is out there, but this book is awesome. It's put out by IDW, and the art and a lot of the art and the story and everything is done by Kevin Eastman, who did the original Ninja Turtles storyline way, back a long time ago. Anyhow, this book has been very, very good. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Eastman does the story. He does the layouts. So, I mean, just, this is the guy that did the original one, and basically this is an origin story. It's a little different than what you may be used to if you grew up with Ninja Turtles, maybe reading some of the older comics, or, if you were a huge fan of the TV show and the movies like I was when I was a kid. It's a little different, but it doesn't take away from anything. It's awesome. You still have all your characters there, April O'Neil, Casey Jones, you have the 4 Turtles, Splinter, and there's even a scene there's a panel in this where something happens. Splinter, as a rat, scratches this ninja, and if you know the story, you'll know that eventually that ninja that he scratched is probably going to become Master Shredder. Anyhow, this is just a really, really good book. I'm digging the art. It is so cool. It's different than just about anything that's out there. It's really, really awesome, fun to read. It's a big book. It's $3.99, and you really get your $4 worth out of this book. It always takes me longer to read this book than it does any other book, for 2 reasons. One, because I always sit down with #1 and #2 both. I've sat down and read it back to back. So I'll read it, and then I'll go back immediately and read all the way through it again, just because they're so good. And I've never, ever done that with a comic book. So these are good. Go out. I believe #3 is either coming out later this month or next month. I believe it's later this month. So still really fresh in the series. This is cool because IDW puts out a ton of covers for this book, so if you're into collecting as well as reading, that's really cool because you can pick up a lot of different covers. So anyhow, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2 by Kevin Eastman, who's the original creator. Go pick it up. Man, this is just, it's so, so good. So anyhow, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2. Like I said, that would have been my pick of the week had it been an actual title from this week. Now into this week's books. What we have here is a book that I'm sure many of you are reading. And in fact, for a lot of you, if you're like me, or if you're like my friend Blue Goblin 01, look him up here on YouTube, you're kind of sick of the Marvel Universe. It's just annoying. It's not any fun to read. But there is one really, really good title out right now, and that's Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man number 671, Spider Island Part 5. I am so digging this story. If you've been watching my reviews, you know I was out of Spider-Man for a long time, and then I just recently got back into Spider-Man with the Prelude to Spider Island. I believe that's the first one, the Prelude to Spider Island. And man, I jumped back in at an awesome time. You couldn't be... There's not a better time to jump in and be a Spider-Man fan. I grew up a Spider-Man fan, and it just... the stories that were coming out lost me. I just wasn't interested in them. But this is really good. Written by Dan Slott. Art is by Humberto Ramos. Ramos has been doing a great job with the art. I will say that something about this issue, 671, the art did seem a tad cartoony. And I know it's a comic book, so maybe it all seems cartoony. But it seemed just a little more cartoony in this book than it did in any of the previous books. But not bad by any means. I still very much enjoy Ramos's art. Dan Slott is doing a great job telling this story. Of course, we found out in the last one that J. Jonah Jameson was bit. Actually, maybe it was 2 stories ago that he was actually, or not bitten, but he contracted the spider virus. Anyhow, and then we find out at the end of the last one, Mary Jane is like the only person left in New York City who doesn't have the spider virus. And we find out at the end of the last one, boom, it hits her. There it is. So that's where we've got this marvelous looking cover. Now, I'm not one of those guys that ogles over a comic book cover, and that's not what I'm doing here, but this is a nice looking comic book cover. I think this is one of the best looking Spider-Man covers I've seen in a long time. So kudos on that cover. Something I just noticed, I think it was when I picked up Spider Island number 4, part 4. Down here in the bottom, and I don't know if all Marvel books are doing this, but they're hashtagging their titles, which is pretty cool, because I guess that's letting you know you can get on Twitter or whatever and just hashtag it and find out what people are saying about it. Anyhow, this is really good. Of course, the Spider Island story is coming to a close. I'm not sure how many issues are left, but it is coming to a close, and you can really tell that with this issue. But it's really good. So go out and start getting Amazing Spider-Man. Go back and honestly, I wouldn't go back any further than the Spider Island Prelude. So just go back to the Spider Island Prelude. I believe it's number 666. 666. Pick that up, and this has been really, really good. I've enjoyed it. Next, Superboy number 2, written by Scott Lobdell, art by R.B. Silva. This is a really cool story. I'm enjoying this. One of my favorite things so far about this story has been the way I can already see it's going to tie into the Teen Titles. No, that's not it. Teen Titans. There we go. Teen Titans title. This has been really cool. Like, I like the story anyhow. I like the idea that Superboy's he's a clone. He's half Lex Luthor, half Superman. We all know that. We know the struggles that he's gone through with that. But I just think this is really cool, the way they're doing this. I'm enjoying the art. I'm enjoying the storytelling. It's really, really good. You get to see your first bit of real action from Superboy in this one as he fights a couple of these shark-looking monsters, which are actually pretty cool. I wish I'd gotten to see a little more, but it is still very early in this hero's storyline. And unlike a lot of the heroes who are coming in, even those who are starting all over again with new storylines and things like that, they're coming in as a hero. The Flash, Aquaman, Batman, Superman, they're all coming in as a hero, and Superboy isn't. He's not a hero yet. His first time, in fact, he never even leaves the little facility he's in until sometime towards the end of this, I guess about halfway through this issue. So anyhow, this is just really good. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this. I'm also excited to see how it's going to tie in with Teen Titans. So, Superboy number 2, forgot his name again, Scott Lobdell. This is, like I said, really good. Just an awesome, awesome book. So, I'm talking a lot this time. Anyhow, Batman and Robin number 2. Out of the Bat titles, this one is my least favorite. At least number 1 was. Out of all the Bat number 1s that I got, this was my least favorite. Wasn't crazy about the art. I wasn't crazy about the story. I thought Damian had come a long way before they ended the last DC universe. And he had just gotten to a point where he was tolerable as Robin, who's always been my favorite. And then now, when they started back with number 1, he was whiny again, and it was really annoying. This, number 2, it was better. It was better. Written by Peter Tomasi, art by Patrick Gleason. I think Tomasi actually wrote a really good story in this one. It has pretty much nothing to do with the first one. Which I hope they're not all like that. I hope they're not just going to write individual issues of Batman and Robin and then eventually tie it into some larger story arc. I want a story arc to happen in this. I want something to be going on. And you see in this one that it looks like something is going to be happening. Something is going to be going on. You get a new character introduced. Batman Inc. still exists. And this character is coming in because he feels Batman Inc. was a bad idea. And apparently it goes against some kind of agreement or plan or something that, he and Bruce had. So, anyhow, I'm excited to see how that turns out. Like I said, the book is good. I'm still not enjoying the art. I still don't like Gleason's art on this. It's just, I don't know, for Batman art, it's just not good to me. But the story was good enough that I'm going to continue to pick this up for at least a few more months and see how it goes. It's still kind of, I don't know, it's kind of teetering, but for the most part, the story was pretty good. So hopefully, maybe the art will start getting better, and I don't know, that's Gleason's style, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like it for Batman and Robin. So, anyhow, hopefully things will kind of pick up there. Now, my pick of the week was a title. It's a number 2 for a title that number 1 really, really disappointed me. And to the point of almost not picking up number 2, except I was like, no, number 2 cannot be bad. It just cannot. And I was right. It's not. Green Lantern number 2. Written by Geoff Johns. Art by Doug Mahnke. Still not crazy about the art. It's one of the ones that I believe I was complaining about the art. Not crazy about it. However, I don't know, there's something about it between number 1 and number 2. Maybe it's just because there's more going on. I enjoyed it more in this book. And there is more going on here. Let me say, Ken over at Arkham, he'd asked me if I'd had a chance to read it yet a few days ago, and I said I hadn't. He said, let me just tell you, Sinestro is being Sinestro. Let me just tell you, comic book review watchers, Sinestro is being Sinestro. This was really good. It's classic Sinestro. A lot of manipulation. He's manipulating Hal. He's trying to get a one-up on him. And this was just good. Good story writing from Geoff Johns. They're building something here. You can tell that something heavy is going to happen. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little more insight on this book. Basically, they are heading to Korugar to take it back from the Yellow Lanterns. That's what's happening. Sinestro has created another ring for Hal, but it's a limited ring. It can only do what Sinestro allows it to do. So, it's really cool. Also, and I think I kind of missed out on this, Sinestro wasn't just given a ring. From what I understand, Sinestro has Hal's ring. And so he kind of talks to Hal about how he never really tapped into the full potential of this ring. And there's a really cool scene where Hal is trying to save some people on a bridge, and he's not able to save them all. And then just as he's saving this lady and he's carrying her up, boom, Sinestro takes his powers away, and he's trying to teach Hal. He's like, you never listen. Everything has to be told to you twice. So let me show you. Your powers are nothing without me. Your life is in my hands. But let me show you what the ring can really do. And so instead of building like this construct out of the green energy, he just completely rebuilds the bridge with the ring. It's really, really cool. Obviously, Hal Jordan was not tapping into the potential of this ring. Hopefully that as the issues go on, we start hitting, I don't know, maybe by the time we get up to about 6, we're going to start seeing where Sinestro is no longer a Green Lantern, or if he is, there's this big struggle because Hal has finally figured out how to effectively and appropriately use his lantern ring. So this is a good title. My pick of the week, man. Geoff Johns, the guy, he can't do, he does no wrong. He walks on water. So he's just awesome. Now, today is Saturday, so I'm getting my comic book review up one day early. Hopefully, as weeks go on, it will continue to fall back in the week, and maybe I can start getting them up on Wednesday night, which is my my goal for all of this. But it's Saturday. You know what that means? That means that yesterday, on October 14th, Green Lantern came out. So I got my copy. I watched it last night. I will say I got the extended version on Blu-ray, and it's supposed to have 15 extra minutes, but I didn't notice anything any different. So I don't know, maybe they added 15 minutes worth of credits or something. I don't know. I didn't notice anything any different. Anyhow, it's just super, super awesome. For those of you who didn't like the movie, why? Why didn't you like the movie? Ryan Reynolds is a way, way, way more awesomer, yes, awesomer, way more awesomer Green Lantern / Hal Jordan than Christian Bale was Batman / Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale was awful. It was ridiculous. He's taking Batman, who's like my favorite hero, and turning him into, I don't know, man in a bear suit. So anyhow, Green Lantern's awesome. Watch it. Comic book fans, pick it up this weekend. Support your local comic shops. Always do that. That's really, really good to do. I feel like there was something else I was going to tell you guys. Just can't remember what it was. Oh well. May the Force be with you.